that woman. Round of applause for her. If you are a woman and you are proud of the women, clap for her once again. You're very welcome, ma'am. No problem. Okay, so point of correction quickly. Dr. Mary Kiaba is a retired director from Lagos. You are going to share in your wealth of knowledge. Like I said, you are read inside of the book and behind the book. So I want to hear quite a lot from you today. And then we have Mr. Joshua Falade of Fitstone Academy. He's going to be coming here to speak to us on quite a lot of things. You're very welcome, sir. And finally, the last but not the least, we have our own very Mr. Victor O. Abraham. We heard his voice today, and I'm so happy about the way he's speaking his mind and bearing his mind. He's a youth indeed. Let's clap for him very well. A round of applause for him. So you're very welcome, sir. You're welcome, sir. And so, my beautiful youth, this is the time for you to engage. To anchor this section, we have Dr. Idowu David Alademoni. You're very welcome, sir.
Hello, boys and girls. Nice to have you. Beautiful. Good afternoon, man. Good afternoon, sir. Yeah, it's beautiful to be here together. Please, can we have one or two boys to record? Yeah, coming. So when we move them away together. Right. So, what we're talking about, thank you very much. Thank you. So what we're talking about is, we're talking about the African youth. So let's start with Mr. Victor. Mr. Victor has a story to tell. And as a story met him when he did not expect it. That story turned his life around. And so the youth would like to hear about it. So he is the president of the organization, and today our foundation, and today is here to tell you the story. I'm not going to tell you about the story, but I can hint you on what is there to say. That he was once a victim. He was a powerless person that eventually got power over his powerlessness. So you will hear his story, and then I'm sure that boys and girls here today, you're going to learn from his story and then Victor, please. Put your hands together as we welcome him. Thank you very much. Yeah, so let's move to this side too. Here with us is Dr. Tunde Azan. And so, something about your life. They don't tell you something about making the African youth life a better one. And so he's an organizer, he's a scientist to the core, he's a researcher. So in the multitude of his words, he will be here to tell you more and something you need to learn to be a great, dependable African youth of today and leader tomorrow. Thank you very much. Please join me to welcome him again. Thank you very much. Teacher with Lagos State of Education, where she was, I think, very strong woman. She will not want to just keep quiet, so she got other things she's doing. There is a question that we have on our mind that we want to answer together to African youth, that education is a scam. Education is a lie. Education is an error. Let's go and learn and all that. So, want to know if this is actually very true. If it is true, we want to hear from her. Welcome me again. Put hands together for her. And finally, seated right there. And the man you see seated here has been a progenitor of many great things. A progenitor of many great things, and that's why he's here today to take you on a journey. And so this journey is a journey we prepare for 600 students, 600 African youth. But then, while you adjust this number today, I think it's clear we're going to find it out. Please join me to welcome Mr. Falade to us. Please put your hands together as we welcome. Yes, thank you very much. You're welcome. All right, so these people and then what they're going to learn from.
The brief profile of Dr. Azan. He's a research scientist, environmental and climate change specialist. Dr. Azan is a dedicated research scientist. Sustainability, climate change mitigation, and green innovation. It's secular and low carbon economy. With a background that blends science, and practical innovation, Dr. Azan's R&D projects aim to reduce plastic pollution and promote sustainable alternatives within Nigeria's agro-industrial sector. His research integrates environmental science and socio-economic analysis to develop eco-friendly packaging solutions that enhance food preservation and reduce post-harvest losses, especially and other peanut-based snacks. Environmental advocacy. It actively engages in dialogues and community programs focused on climate resilience, green entrepreneurship, and policy reform for sustainable development. He envisions an Africa where science, innovation, and integrity drive leadership and environmental responsibility. His ultimate goal is to transform His core areas of expertise include environmental and climate change research, sustainable packaging design and material science, waste to wealth and circular economy systems, green innovation and eco-entrepreneurship. Thank you very much. Policy development for sustainable agriculture and industry, and his professional vision is to advance Africa's sustainability through innovative environmental research, responsible leadership, and the transformation into and ecological value. Please, champion. Address. Now, up next, I'm going to take the profile of Dr. Professional with almost 30 years of experience in teaching and educational counseling. Yes. Policies, norms, systems, and controls motivational skills and educational career span of over 3 decades. A proficiency in handling the administrative activities entailing day-to-day management at secondary school level as the director of Lagos State and upholding the institution's motto, experience and skills in developing curriculum to accommodate different learning styles and maximizing students' comprehension, conducted various workshops, trainings, seminars, and has organized various conferences. She's exercised judgment within generally defined practices in selecting methods and techniques for obtaining solutions. Dr. Mary Ikiaba acknowledges that developing various publications like paper publications and conference proceedings and edited book of publication, all these has made her to be an expert in providing counseling to students in all areas of life. And today, she's going to be telling us about and demystifying that myth that says education is a scam. It's a spoiler alert. Education is not a scam. You're going to hear from someone who has over 3 decades of education experience. A round of applause for her, please. You're very welcome, ma'am. And up next, I'm going to take the profile of Mr. Joshua Olabisi Falade. He's a dynamic man with many sides to him. He's an author, a former banker and urban farmer, a serial businessman, an educationist, a digital marketer, a database administrator, a customer relationship manager. Just to mention a few. Thank you very much. He has a master's degree, he's a master's degree holder in economics from the University of Lagos. Mr. Joshua is a business advisor on investment and entrepreneurship to the people in Nigeria and beyond. And is a regular host at conferences, business roundtables, and is beautifully married with wonderful children. You're very welcome back. And today, the president will set us on self-employability and youth innovation, a very powerful stuff. You have so much to listen to today. And last but not the least, I have Mr. Victor O. Abraham. He's a revivalist, a soul winner, a world-class coach, an author whose life story is nothing short of a miracle. Once trapped in a vicious cycle of addiction, Mr. Victor began smoking weed at the tender age of 8. And at 16, his life was spiraled deeper into chaos, using cocaine, Italian brown alcohol, cigarettes, and pursuing destructive lifestyle. However, at the age of 21, everything changed. Somebody say change. Change. Mr. Victor had a radical encounter with Jesus Christ, and that transformed his life forever. From that moment on, he walked away from addiction and embraced the new identity in Christ. Today, Victor is not just free, he's on fire. He's married to his beautiful wife, Masumbo, and blessed with 4 wonderful children. He's now the president of the Victor and Lois Abraham Foundation, a platform dedicated to helping others find the same freedom that he has experienced. He's an addiction specialist and consultant. Mr. Victor uses his story, his training, and his deep spiritual insight to guide individuals out of addiction and into purpose. His mission is clear: to see lives restored, chains broken, and destiny fulfilled. And today, Mr. Victor is going to take us through youth sensitization against drug and substance abuse. And today, we have very, very rich people that want to speak to us. Please sit tight and listen attentively. You're welcome.
All right, thank you very much. Now, so we'll be doing this together now. So we're going to start by throwing the question at them, and what they mean by, is it really true that somebody can be free from addiction? Now, the African youth and African leaders have failed. How true is this? If the current leaders in Africa have failed or are still failing, is there a way out? Is there a solution to that? That is what we'll be dealing with when we speak with Dr. Tudazan. Is it true that African leaders have failed? If truly the African leaders have failed, then is there a way out? Do you have a role to play in making a change in all of this? Truly, is education a scam? The current state of education in Nigeria and in Africa is a scam. Is it really true? And this is what we're hearing from her mother here. She will be telling us about that, if it is true or not. So let's begin by asking Mr. Victor Abraham first to tell us, is it true that somebody wants change with addiction? Is it true that the person can be free? Well, this is just first introduction, sirs. Man, this is the introductory aspect. And then so we now give you, we'll now hand over to you to hand your case. Number one, sir, Mr. Victor Abraham, sir, it's really true that the youth, somebody who wants change, can actually be free. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, youth. I say good afternoon, youth. Well, I'm very glad to be in your midst, and I want to pay attention greatly. Everything we are saying today boils down to one thing. We're talking about our youth leveraging the potentials for socio-economic revolution. But let me tell you that that so-called revolution can be negative, in the sense that if we involve in drug. I started taking drugs at the age of 8 years, 8 years old, when I started taking weed. My father said I was very stubborn. He asked me to go and live with a family friend in Moshi. He said the man is a disciplinarian. Getting there, the son of the man will take me to the back of the house. Let me stand up. You know, when I was preparing for this program, my wife said, why wearing something like this? If you can guess my age, I will give you maybe something. Can somebody guess my age?
So what? Well, past 60 years.
Please, a round of applause for you. It's over 60 years.
I'm over 50 years. So it was at that same place they said they should come and teach me and discipline me. I started taking Indian men. By the time I left the Cobalt Strategy of 15, 16 years, I started taking Italian ground. That was cocaine that time. And then, from then, going after prostitutes. Those days, we go after prostitutes, 3 naira short time, till they break 10 naira. That was how much we were making love to prostitutes. So I want to listen carefully.
Please, a round of applause for him. Sir, thank you very much, sir. This is just the doctor. We are coming to you, sir. Please, we are coming to you, sir.
And so, let me tell you, by the time I start on my wire, listen, so that you know what you're about to do. You know, I got to F9, 2 credits, 4 passes. Ask me the F9 what subjects? Maths and English.
A round of applause for him. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. Yeah, Mr. Very shortly we go to hear from yes, it's fine we go to school. It's fine we have educational certificate. It's fine. What I'm saying that with all of our certificates, is it possible for the African youth of today to be self-employed, but at the same time getting engaged with other things?
Thank you very much, sir. Greatest African youth.
Great.
Wonderful African youth. Well-rounded African youth. And let me tell you, education is not what we need for functional education. Functional education is an education that develops your brain, your hands, and everything. You can go to school and graduate with first class and come out and still get frustrated. My wife is a very great lawyer, and I am an ex-banker. I saw some of my former colleagues from the bank. I worked in the bank for more than 14 years. One of the days, I decided to resign. I took my letter to where I wanted to resign, and they told me, who will receive your resignation letter? Well, be doing whatever you want to do. Now listen to me. You want to go to school and graduate with first class. You want to become a lawyer like my wife, you know it. But after graduation, what next? You want to be able to command some good resources from your pocket. The other time, you know, there are a lot of things prayer does. I don't praise, I'm a pastor from Deeper Life Bible Church. So please take note of this. God answers prayer, but there are some limits to what we can task God. Prayer does not buy rice and beans from the market. Money does. And after you are going to school and you return and there is no money in your pocket to settle down and marry, many other things, what do you think happened? Frustration. So my wife went to school and she graduated as one of the best from law school and she landed a job. And let me tell you, she was being paid handsome salary of 30,000 naira. How much?
A round of applause for that. Thank you very much for that introduction, sir. We are coming back to you, sir. Thank you very much. Yes, education. In all of this, at least education is wrong. Have you so agree that truly speaking, education is a scam? Man, what's the opinion about this in your introduction? Education actually is.
Arise and shine, African youth. Arise and shine. What is stand for arise and shine? Arise and shine because the glory of the Lord has come upon you. You can see that. You will arise and shine. Education is never a scam. When we talk about education, it's a process where you acquire knowledge, skills, values, through teaching, training, every sex study. And a scam is something called
Dr. So he's now going to tell you what exactly he has for you about the failure of African leaders and also what are the solutions that African youth can provide these challenges and also what are we expected to do to make a better Africa for all of us. So please join me now to officially welcome Dr. to tell us what they have to tell us on the African leaders.
Thank you very much. Great African youth. Great African youth. As I said earlier at the introduction, we are talking about the failure of African leadership, empowering the youth for the rescue. And that is the reason why we are gathering here. We are not just here to talk about the failure of our leaders, how we can rescue the situation, how we can provide a better leadership. And I know as I'm looking at you, you are going to be a great leader. So we save Africa from the mess in Jesus' name. Yes. As I said earlier, when we talk about the leader is a person that manages human, natural, and cultural resources. And in Africa, leadership is like a paradox. In Africa, we have abundance of potential, but persistent underdevelopment. It's very, very disappointing. And from the statistics, we have it that Africa owns 60% of the world's arable land, but Africa contributes less than 5% of global trade. That is a real challenge and is pointing to the failure of leadership. Now, we are talking about leadership failure. How can we define leadership failure? Leadership failure is not the absence of leaders, but absence of visionary, accountable, and servant leadership. That is why all over the world we look at Africa, that our major and greatest problem is lack of leadership. But it's not that we don't have leaders, but the challenge, the problem is the absence of visionary leader, absence of accountable and servant leadership. Then, to diagnose the problem at hand, what are the characteristics of failed leadership? What are the indices? What are the things you will see that will make you to know that this leader is failing? Number one is corruption. Everybody all over the world know that corruption has major headquarters in Africa. What another indices? Power personalization, the personalized power, and neglect of institutions. These are the major characteristics of failed leadership. Then, this failed leadership, what are the moral burden? Leadership as stewards, as the Bible says, that the righteous, when the righteous have authority, what happened to the people? The people rejoice. Now, how did Africa get trapped in the circle of leadership collapse? So we need to diagnose. How do we get there? How do we get to where we are in Africa, in Nigeria, and other African countries? If you want to really diagnose the problem, you have to get to the roots. We don't get the problem from the stem, from the leaf, it's right from the root. What is the root of African leadership failure? It started from colonial legacy. The colonial they came with extractive institutions to extract from Africa what they will benefit from Africa, not for the interest, not for the growth, not the development of Africa. And that was the root of African problem. The dependence on foreign validation and artificial borders. That was the root of African problem, African leadership. Then followed by post-independence euphoria and disillusionment. That is from liberation era to authoritarian leaders. If you look at the leadership in Africa, they are majorly authoritative. They assert power. Then, and the big man syndrome and state capture. That's what characterizes the kind of leaders we are having. Then, another thing to diagnose is structural and institutional failure. We see weak democratic institutions, judiciary very weak, legislatures weak, electoral body weak. Even as young as you are aware of what happened in the last election. That was 2023. To show you the weak democratic institutions. The poor governance culture, lack of meritocracy and accountability. That's what characterizes the life of our leaders. Policy inconsistency and over-dependence on resources exports. Then let's look at ethical and value deficits. Leadership without moral compass. Politics without principle. People come to politics, no principle. Nepotism, tribalism, they are the tools of power retention in Africa. These are the root cause of our problem. Leadership failure in education and moral mentorship. The lost generation effect. What are the causes of the failure in leadership? Number one, in economy, we see unemployment rampant everywhere. So one of our speakers just spoken that the white studied law came out with the best results and ended up getting a job of 30,000. That is what we see, and that is the cause of the failure of leadership. Debt traps, even as we speak, Africa is still borrowing money from other countries, especially our country here in Nigeria, the giants of Africa. We see the capital flights. In the social aspect, we see poverty everywhere. From the statistics, we are told that average African spend less than $1 a day. We see brain drain, insecurity, youth frustration. Those are the social implications of failure of leaders. What about in our environment? How do we see the failure of leadership? We see exploitation without sustainability. We see climate vulnerability. Our environment is not safe because we depend directly on farming. Then the psychological aspect of this failure. Apathy. Migration of dreams replacing patriotism. These are cause of failure of African leadership. The next empowering youth for the rest. We have seen the problem. How can we empower youth? How can you be a solution? How can you provide a solution to the problem of Africa? And I will start by saying, why are the youth matters? The adults, they cause the problem. Why can't they be the one to solve the problem? Why are we focusing and looking at the youth as the way out? We are told from the statistics that African median age is 19. And that is the world's youngest continent. The youngest continent is in Africa. That's what gives hope to Africa. Demographic dividends versus demographic disaster. Youth as victims and potential redeemer of leadership crisis. How do we build new leadership ethics? Number one, we have to redefine leadership as service. That's the first thing to do. Leadership is not for rulership. It's not to capture states or people. We must see leadership as service. innovation, and accountability. But we have a dream of Africa that we have. That must be the perspective, the way we must see the leadership. Then we must promote value-based education that run through ethics, civic responsibility, and entrepreneurship. Then we must also foster educational intelligence, not just political ambition. These are the ways the youth can provide solutions. Then let's see the practical way to empower youth. Number one is education and skills. We have to reform circular to include leadership, innovation, climate action, and civic engagement. This must be the strategy of action to have, sound leadership. And what will be the outcome of these, education and skill strategy? Number one, we have competent young people, competent leaders. We have, conscious future leaders. And secondly, economic empowerment in the strategy. Then what is the strategy of action in economic empowerment? We support youth startups program, agro-technology, and green entrepreneurship, access to finance, and mentorship. This is the strategy to use to have economic empowerment in Africa. And what will be the outcome of this? I had a World Bank sponsor my PhD, and we have some people also from Africa, from other African countries. But do you know, I still have some contact with some of the colleagues. We did the PhD together. It's over 10 years ago that we finished the program. But you won't believe, I have some of them that are still searching for jobs with PhD. That's to tell you that the kind of education that they are running. So to really have, a kind of Africa that we will be proud of, the economic empowerment is very, very important. That we focus on job creation and self-reliance. The political inclusion. What could be the strategy for this? We lower age barriers in people that are included in policies. You can see, if you look at the trend of leaders we have in Africa today, you can see they are majorly old people, 60, 70, 80, and they are holding tight to it. So they need to lower the age barriers. The mentorship from visionary elders should also be included. They really want to have, the kind of Africa that we are looking for. The youth policy is very important strategy. Then what will be the outcome of this political inclusion? Generational transition in governance. Generational transmission. We have leaders already prepared, already mentored, and there will not be any problem of leadership. Then another aspect, the practical pathway, digital and climate innovation. We have to use technology and sustainability as new leadership platforms. This is very, very important. Apart from being an expert in climate change and environment, as I'm sitting before you, I have over 10 subjects written and used all over in Nigeria. You see any textbook called Fundamental Facts, whether basic science, basic tech, agri, civic education, and the rest of them, and some calculations. The person that is talking and the follow behind it. Thank you very much, sir.
Right, thank you very much, sir. Right, so I think other things will come as you ask their questions. You get that? So as questions for other groups and other things will come. This is an applause for Dr. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. So we will means of all of things, a place of self-employment, place of making your own job. Is it possible for African youth to be captains of industry? How do we begin and where do we begin? So answer this is Mr. Joshua Falade. Please join in, so please. 17.5 minutes.
Thank you very much. Greatest African youth. Global African youth. Versatile African youth. You are great. Tell your neighbor you are great. Look at yourself, say, I am great. Now let me start today. We are talking about creating your own future through self-employment and then developing employability skills. I told you about my wife. Let me start the discourse from that story. You are you want to go to higher education, become a lawyer. So my wife went to law school. After 5 years in the university, you now go to law school. I remember very well. And then community gather money to send that to law school. This is a law school you come back. For many people turn back in the law school because you have to do a lot of cramming. The woman graduated as one of the best, and she came and served, and she landed a profitable job, and she was earning miserable 30,000 naira a month. And listening to me, what is the joy of parents or the joy of community after you have sent your sons and daughters to school, and then you are waiting to sit back to begin to earn from your investment? But instead of for investment to come, you look at yourself as a mother. If I continue like this, I'm not going to see my grandchildren. So they decide to marry for the son or the daughter because there is no job. I know you don't want to live that life. Is that the life you want to live? Thank you very much. You will not live that life. So my wife landed a job, and then one day, this was not in long century in this millennium. She wanted to go to work, and she called her boss, I will be going to work at Goshenry. I need money. And you know what the boss told her? Madam, don't worry. When your service is needed, we will call you. That was summary termination of appointment. And she came back home, already married, and I threw my hand, said, praise God. And she was wondering, how will you praise God? I lost my job. You know what I did? I sat down in my living room somewhere in Oshie, and I wrote a letter to people in the church. You have some stubborn tenants who have occupied your property for only God when I'm not paid. Do you have that problem? Give the problem to us, and we're going to solve it for you. And lo and behold, in less than 1 month, what this woman will not earn in paid employment, she earned it in a month. Now listen to me. I have been here, of course, not on paid appointment. No matter my paid appointment, because I speak in conferences and the rest, they don't pay me up to $1 million or 2 million naira a year. But if my wife were to sit down here for 30 minutes in most places, 10 million, 5 million, 3 million, 1 million are gone. And as I'm talking to you, the woman is pulling her head in Canada today. Why did I go to that story? The problem in Nigeria is the problem of education. It's not a problem that we have in school. We have so many PhD holders. And I remember Dangote wanted to employ people, and he put up employment, and lo and behold, 10 PhD holders opted. They wanted to be drivers, truck drivers for Dangote. I know that's not how you want to end your life. The problems are namely the problem of unemployment, a situation where we have more than 40 million Nigerian graduates in the labor market that are not employed. The problem of underemployment, a situation where somebody who holds an HND had to slide HND to OND, or somebody who has a BS or MSc is working with O level, but is working with that degree, but is earning less than what he or she qualifies for. And the worst of all the problem, of all these problems, the problem of unemployability. Somebody say unemployability. It is a problem that a graduate in Nigeria is said not to be employable because they do not have the requisite skills and experience as well as exposure that they need to be employed. And that's the problem we have today. So at the moment, Africa is devil with high unemployment situation. And every year we turn in between 3 and 5 million graduates in Nigeria alone. And it takes an average of 7 years for a graduate to land a job. And for everybody that lands a job, 8 out of 10 of everyone that lands a job is said to be unemployable. Are you listening to me? So what's the hope? If African population is the youngest population with a median age of 19.7, and by year 2030, we are going to become 450 million. By year 2050, Lagos is going to become the 3rd largest state, and Nigeria is going to become the 3rd largest country. And yet, youth board are growing and there is no job. Don't you think kidnapping is going to be terrible? Don't you think many more problems will come in? And that's why I want to quickly talk to you about being employable and then personally going to self-employment. My wife left the job, we sat down in the living room, and the woman started, getting breeze and job. And I remember the first properties we were going to buy, she brought the money to the table. When she was going to travel out of the country, in about 2-3 months, about 7 to 18 million naira enter and settle down in her account. How many of our mates can boast of that? So the problem is not education, but the problem is functional education. What is functional education? If you are going to be employable, whether your own personal employment or other people's employment, number one need is functional education. Somebody say functional education. Talk to me, please. Again, a functional education is an education that affects the brain, affects the hands, affects the mind. You have studied economics like I have done, the law of supply and demand. These are not what really applicable in the outside world, who will call you to come and solve the problem of demand and supply. We want you to come and market people. We want you to generate solutions to our problem. We want to increase our bottom line. The bank will call you and say, go and give me billion. If you are able to produce this result, you retain your job. If you cannot, then off you go. So how do you solve this problem? The education we have in most of our schools, from elementary to the university, did not prepare us for 24th century of the life outside. But if you are going to help yourself, you take education that will affect your brain. You know where you need to pray. Like my mother the other time, was asking, prayer does a lot of things. But I did tell you that there are some things prayer does not do. Prayer does not buy rice in the market. Prayer does not give money in your pocket. And if you keep on praying, all the factories in 5 stars in Ajao Estate, we have shut them down, we turn them to churches, of course, and then we are praying for a job and nobody is getting job. If you pray till kingdom come, the job that is not in existence will not send it from heaven. So you need to look at yourself. What are the needs? What are the problems? People are going to school and there is no job. How do we solve this problem? There's a problem of shortage of food. How do you navigate this problem? Begin to provide. Before I left the banking job, I already went into farming. People must eat. Population of Nigeria is going to explode. And whether we go to mountain and fast and return, we are still going to break the fast. And in the process, what are we going to break the fast with? I'm asking you. And I provide, I decided, I do not need all the population that is in Lagos State. I need only 1% to provide tomato, to provide turkey and chicken. And I know where money goes in January, February, March, April, in December. As I'm talking to you, I'm raising turkey and chicken for people. Whether you like it or not, go to the mountain and conference and return before Christmas, you must buy chicken from me. Nobody teaches you in the school. So that's the function of functional education. It makes you to think. you to provide solution to problem. And it does not apply only to your paid job, but to your personal employment. You know how to add 1 plus 1 to solve problem. That's why you see somebody who has functional education does not really need to have degree. Am I saying that degree is not important? That is not what I'm saying. But you enter there at Ladipo, somebody who cannot speak fluent, correct English is earning decent living. Somebody who has got 3, 4, 5 degrees cannot boast of 10,000 naira per day. Don't you think something is wrong? So number 1 solution, we need for education. Number 2, we need soft skills. Somebody say soft skills. Somebody say soft skills. These are skills that are very important. Just as we need hardware and software to make a complete computer, we need soft skills. These are skills in critical thinking and problem solving. These are skills in financial literacy. These are skills in entrepreneurship. They don't teach all this as practical skills. You know, in the school. But by God's grace, when I came on board, because I floated a school, these are some of the problems we started addressing. Teaching people ABC, teaching them how to read and speak good English, and also how to solve day-to-day problems. That is number 1, functional education. Number 2, soft skill. Number 3 is digital skill. Whether you like it or not, you are going to agriculture, you are going to transportation, you are going to any other area of field, you need digital skill. I'm not talking about how to press computer, I'm not just talking about how to browse or use application, but you must be able to use computer and the application and all the digital product to solve today's problem. Today, for example, I'm going to drive back to Ajao Estate. I should know that, oh, there is going to be traffic in this direction. How do I navigate? And by the way, we want to be able to solve some of these problems, African problems that we are not timekeeper. Waste time, we waste life in the process. We need to move away from that narrative of that we cannot change. When we are not conscious of time in Africa, we are killing ourselves, and we cannot be the kind of Africans that the world needs. You are traveling out of the country, and your flight is 5 a.m. and you get there 5 minutes. Your prayer cannot stop there, whether you like it or not. So number 1 solution, you have functional education. Number 2, you have soft skill. Number 3, digital skill. Now, how do you start, self-employment? In 2 minutes, quickly. There are a lot of problems in Nigeria, and you don't need prophets to tell you those problems. We have the problem of food crisis. Food crisis. We have the problem of home shortage, accommodation. We have the problem of education. Wherever you can talk or think about, there are problems for us to solve. I have a friend that is solving a problem of down right there in Oshodi, and he's going home with no less than 18 million every month. And they are not work for anybody. Somebody that is supplying just tomato to people, and is making money and paying many graduates come and work for him, and he cannot speak good English. So what do you want to do? You identify a problem, and that need a lot of people to be for the problem to be solved for. In Lagos, 24 million people, we need food on daily basis. So if an average person is spending 1,000, multiply 1,000 by 365 days by the population of Lagos. If you are able to just get a ration of it, your problem is solved. So look at the area of your passion. What are you good at? Nigerians are, redefining music. They are redefining cuisine skill. They are redefining some other aspect. Now it's your time. Look at the problem. What are those things that we are complaining about? Can you provide solution to it creatively and collect some money? As I'm rounding up now, let me tell you something that happened in my family. My daughter is just 9 years. I have 2 of them, and my boy is about 14 years. I didn't marry them. But the entrepreneurship drive within them has been making my get in the school right now that whenever they learn music, they will transcribe the music into their transcription, and we charge her maid to pay for it. Did you hear what I've just said? Did you hear what I just said? So she's learning how to speak French English to add 1 plus 1. She's also learning how to sell solutions. My daughter and my boy had a problem and they needed the service of their mom as an unbiased lawyer to solve the problem. My daughter decided to see some assignment to her brother, and the brother agreed that for you to give me this assignment, you are going to pay me XYZ amount of money, and they signed the contractual agreement. Are you listening to me? And then my daughter decided to breach the agreement, and it became a legal tussle in my family. So they came to us to solve the problem. So agreement is what? Agreement. So where I am dwelling and I'm driving here is this. There are problems in the family. There are situations all around. So if you are going to be employable, you must be able to use your brain. You must listen very intently to what people are crying about. You must be able to discern what is happening. I went to start a school in Ikorodu. I went to build house in Ikorodu. I went to do so many things in Ikorodu. The reason people, and I live in Ajao Estate here, many people are migrating from this place because of landlord wahala to that place. So I went to build a befitting school for people who would like a very decent education, but they will not be able to pay for what they are paying here in the south or in Ajao Estate. So I prepared. And I went there, I bought a place, and rather than for me to just be wasting the place, I sung borehole. People that will be built within water, don't you think so? Don't you think so? And I observed that Christmas coming, people will eat chicken and ram. By the way, people on the high table, chicken and turkey are available, and I can give it at the
Please tap your hands together. Very appreciated. I'm sure you are piling up your questions. DJ, please bring this a little. I'm sure you're piling up your questions. Are you doing that? All right, so very shortly, let's listen to education. Education is now. So to answer the question is, Dr. Mary, please tap your hands together, Dr. Mary. I think we have one mic for you there. Yes, that's a mic.
Sunshine African, you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and God has positioned you as a prophet was saying for a purpose. The position you have taken, education and never be stand. But the system itself is false. Many youths are getting frustrated because of the system. We are multiplying universities, and so many secondary schools, primary schools, no factories to absorb those are graduating. It needs overhauling. We really need cost intervention. But when you look at the youth, you begin to say, what is their future going to look like? It bothers my heart. Because many of our youth are leaving the country. I'm an example of it. About 5 of my children have left. So who will take care of us when we are old? Rather they will say money and that relocate. And the weather is not friendly. And we are not prepared. Rather we stay indoors while they are busy. So we need to address this situation. We have been so much talking about it. Why can we solve the problem? The youth, how do we reorientate that education is not a scam? Because how we come out of the university, we have spent so much, and the parents have some family go hungry to pay these fees. Thank God for the government that is trying to give loans. I don't know how many people will get loans because the large number of students looking for this loan, they can't go around. How do we solve this problem? How do we sit down? It's in the hands of our youth to give us the solution. Because you have the critical thinking, you have the innovation, decision making, you can help us. We should bring you into decision making. That's one of the objectives of this youth day celebration, as I went through it, involve the youth in decision making, bring them to the planning, this is what they can provide on the table. How can education be a scam? Where is education going to give that knowledge? Knowledge is power. You have training, you have skills. Whatever you are going to do, even if you are going to be a farmer or a bricklayer, have the basic education. That will help you to do better. But when we begin to make our children feel that education is a scam, is the system. You look at the curriculum that previous speakers have spoken about it. It's not little. It's not functional. It's out of the workforce. The work, when you get entered into the labor field, you cannot be able to function properly. I remember when I was a teacher in the Igbo secondary school, we had big read, we have farm. Our students go out farm. We taught them the dignity of labor. But now children don't want to work. Rather, they want to just play with their phone and buy whatever. Maybe they eat good food. It's not more there. When my children were back in schools, boarding house, they cook their food. They take rotation. They pick the beans. They cook. And we have to train these children to be self-reliant. But when everything is being done for the children, and we don't have any place to put them, when they come out of the university, they become a burden to us. They become very vulnerable. And you see that the fourth point of the sustainable development goal, that says that by 2030, we will have everybody being educated, have quality education. How will it happen? The disparity in education, how will we achieve it? So we need to go back and put things right from the grassroots, from the top. When we put the wrong people that don't have the certificates, how will they navigate the system? How will they rule properly? Where is the accountability? So we look at unemployment and how do we solve it? We look at the failed curriculum. Now we are overhauling the curriculum. Remove economics for art students. Remove mathematics should be passed for remove economics for science students. The art students should have those in mathematics and reduce the subject and reduce it. Bring in artificial intelligence. Bring in programming. Bring in all sorts of digital learning. We don't have tools. They are not in place. Many schools don't even have infrastructure. Most of the universities, the children have overcrowded lecture halls. They don't have parks. I studied agricultural engineering. In our own time, we drive tractors. We go to the farm. We go. But now, those people studying agriculture, no farms. They are studying fishery, so much theory. A lot of theory, emphasis on theory in our curriculum. The practicals are not there. And we have been repeating this over and over for years. How do we reorientate children? You see that we need a lot of things, and we praise those who are wealthy without going to school. They are rich, but they get some foundations. Maybe they drop that from school. They have some foundation in education that help you to achieve what they achieve. Our children need to learn before they can be able to go into any skill. How will you operate those skills if you don't have basic education? So it gives me a lot of concern. Our children will leave the country, maybe some with professors. They train others, they look at the salary, they are being paid. There's always, right? The calendar in Nigeria has been so much distorted. You cannot, some people enter the university 4 years and graduate after 7 years. The quality of education has dropped. It's the system. that is a scam. It is not education. You see the level of it. Some children can not speak full English. They have poor teaching practice to start guiding them. They will write English language, they must spell it correctly. Where are we heading to? May God help us in this country, that our youth will not rise up and there will be a revolution. Because we need to employ these youth. We have, okay, if you are not trained, how can you be a medical doctor? That's we have fake medical doctors killing people. How can you be able to function as an engineer? You study civil engineering in university, you study mechanical engineer, you don't even know how to hold spanner. Your car spoiled, you cannot, your tire gets flat, you cannot replace it. And you are an engineer. And we, the professors who are there, research upon research. I happen to advise students project, you begin to wonder, they just continue lifting up, photocopy and paste. They don't want to use their brain, no thinking, and they don't want to fail. The Lord will already give us the grace to move on. And I know that things will surely change. Those people that are going to Canada, going to America, going to everywhere they are going, Nigeria will be better. And things must change in this country. There will be a revolution by the grace of God. God will try to take over this school in this country. We need our children to know that there's dignity in labor. And education is, it can better give you a better life. Mortality rates have dropped. In those days, many people died out of cholera. The vaccines, is it not research that brought it? Women dying through labor. Now many women are surviving. How can we talk about medicine if we don't talk about education? How can we talk about other things for the AI? When I went to Canada, my son told me I have to add value, even as a medical doctor, because the AI will soon be diagnosing illnesses and provide prescriptions. Yes, the AI is getting to that stage. So you must add relevance to their profession to still be relevant to society.
This is round of applause for our community. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, man. So, I'm sure you have read it all. The last section we have is going to be more practical. That is why I just have to keep reading that to stay last, and please you need to pay attention. Now, if you are the owner of a Phoenix vehicle, all right, so do you know that he said something before he left? He said his wife, the lawyer, and all that. Do you know that it was the same profession that was paying 30,000 that has opened the gates of countries of the world for the one? Is that correct? Is that correct? It was the same thing, the leverage on, the family leverage on. He sat his wife down, he himself sat down, he analyzed it, and he looked at it and said, okay, this one. The man said you should not come again. That's fine, don't bother to go there again, but let's do this thing. When I tell out the members of the church, you have houses and all that. That's the question, if the wife did not have a certificate, will she be able to do that? No, so there is always something to leverage upon. You are privileged that you have parents who say to go to school. Please don't joke with it, because that's what we just said. It is not in any way discount. Now let's join me to invite Mr. Victor. Just going to invite. By the grace of God, a story told by him. He better tell the story himself. For me, I will never forget about 20 years ago when he would go to Mushin and bring those folks there, and then he would bring them to the church, and then the other day say, okay, Pastor Oya, they are your people, and you don't attend to them. He's been doing this for over several years that I know him. So that is out of his wealth of knowledge and experience is what he wants to share with you. If you are tired, don't be tired. You need to take this home. Thank you very much. Join me to welcome him. Thank you.
I listened to my back on the video. I have everything said beautifully. I listened to my mommy, and I took note also because I'm also learning. We learn.
then anything that stops growing will decay. That is why in biology, what is called those is Mr. Niger. One of the characteristics of Mr. Niger is growth. When you stop growing, you decay. So I took note of mommy. Mom was talking about decision making, critical thinking, and the system. I listen to you. Then my other brother, I will take off from him. He said, you must be able to use your brain. Which brain? When you don't have that brain. Which brain do you want to use? When your brain is already compromised or destroyed, before you can make use of your brain, before you can make money, you must be healthy. So this afternoon, I'll be talking about prevention is better than cure. And I would like the greater you to say no to drugs. Say no to drugs. Yes, education. Yes, education. Even if there is nothing you are doing with. I want to thank God for the Osalogua Family Foundation. Osalogua in Eglo means God. God. So my brothers, we all know for over 20-something years in Deeper Life. And I've been in this business for 38 years. By God's grace, I've been in this business. This is not Chat GPT. This is not Google. Because I started taking drugs when I was 8 years old. I was 8 years old. It's unfortunate as I've given you the picture to show you to see it there. By the time I was 16 years, I started taking cocaine. We call it then Italian brand. We were buying it for 150 kobo. Then smoke, Igbo was 350 kobo. 350 kobo money. Then we go to those who are here will know. There's a place we call Empire at 5 Atuju. That place, we go to all those prostitutes and make love with them, 3 naira. Short time. Then, you know that of Google, you know there's one that you want to say. I did their customer. When I receive my salary, that day, because when I normally go to that hotel, that I saw Assembly of God Church. I gave out to Assembly of God for me to give my life. When I will go, I will end my salary 30 days. When I end my salary that time, I work with Chevron Telco for 18 years before I left. When I end my salary, it will not last me 1 week because I will enter the hotel. I will sit down with small staff, blanco. They will give me. I will be sitting. The babe will pass. I will look at the babe. This one came here. Look at the breast. I will enter. How much? 5 naira, 3 naira. I will go. 30 days, 30 days. It will not last me 3 days. When I come out, another one again. Look at the cucumber. Look at the mash. I will enter again. That's how I will finish that money. For God be glory. October 1986. Last month. Sorry, 12 Sundays ago, made it 39 years. I gave my life. And since then, it's been an interesting journey. It's been an interesting journey. So for you, that's a youth, please listen to me carefully. I told you when I started my first school start, it was 2 credits, 2 passes, 2 F9. F9 in mathematics, F9 in English. Which school won't take me? Which school? From here. I started again. Even after sitting 3 times, I can't even get 3 credits, 6 credits or 4 credits. Why? Because I was already into drugs. My life was not organized. And that's why I come here, for you to be a greater youth, to come and just, you fall down my finger. Yeah, prayer is good. I'm not saying prayer is not. And I'm not, as I stand here by God's grace, I have about 4 companies. I have 4 companies. Example, 2004. And I'm also a trade unionist. During June 12, all run the show. Those who expand on June 12, are now sitting on June 12. and we did all that. But I want to know something, I want to listen carefully. In Victor, and I'm here this afternoon with my NGO, the Victor and Louis Abrams Foundation. The Victor and Louis Abrams Foundation started sometimes, let me say, we got registered with the government, and then with government, fully registered with all the FCC, everybody, and today, what we do, we go to schools. I've been in the business for 10 years. Sometime this year, I told my wife that we want to shift our allegiance to advocacy, that is education. 2024 and 2025 this year, the World UNODC, United Nations on Drug and Crime, and United Nations, the World Drug Day, their logo and hashtag was, the evidence is clear, invest in prevention. Say after me, the evidence is clear. Invest in prevention. You can check it. It's there online. The whole world today is no matter, however, like my brother has rightly said here, if the wife is under drug, she cannot do neither. Are you hearing me? I have first class people. I have first class. I mean, a lot of people at Akala, Ojuna, Shita, Medjugorje, Ibodo, I go to all those places. And this afternoon, I would like to let you guys know that it is better to prevent it than to repair. Do you know that? If you look, how many of you have been following the war in Ukraine? There's a war going on in Ukraine. Do you know how many people have died there? Do you know the wastages? Do you know how many of you have followed the war in Gaza? Do you know how Israel turned Gaza to rubble? If Trump was still to, that war would not go on. But because he was not around, and if you look at people that have died because of carelessness. So prevention is better than cure. And that is why this stuff has come to let you know, to fill up what they have all said. If you want to kill somebody, you want to run away and say no to drugs. Tell your neighbor, say no to drugs. Say no to drugs. Yes to life. Yes to life. Say no to drugs. Say no to drugs. Yes to education. Yes to education. How many of you are heard about the drug they call Colorado? Have you seen it before? It's okay. I have some of them here. We call it. It's okay. We have one of the most deadliest drugs they are using now. We call it. It's okay. Sorry, I didn't introduce my. This is Chris. He's also a human rights activist. We've been working together with no for so years. He worked with Fela, was a street man with Fela for over 15 years. But today, a lot of us we are working together. He will go and create wahala for me all over. He will write and petition all those big organizations. And those of them call us. The first organization, the Roto, is one of the biggest ACSI, Association of Christian School International. It's in Colorado State, Colorado. When you go to them with his United paper, they now say you want to see me. Because when they saw the work we have been doing, all the video and everything, and then you didn't even know that they were recording us. They saw everything we are doing. So this man has come to the and great honor. So let me say hello to this for me. Then my wife is there. I mean, it's part of us. Allah Subhanahu. Then my daughter, I think I gave birth one deeper life. He was named by, I think, Daddy Reswa. Louis, that is the one. That is come and say that to your people. That is a member of the NGO. We are working together, and she had a first degree, but she wants to do her other business. So just say hello to your people. Just greet them and then.
Hello, everyone. Hi.
Praise the Lord. We have two of the most deadliest drugs now. We call it Colorado. One is called Colorado Vibes and Colorado Cripple. Say Cripple. Cripple. Yeah. Say Cripple. So that, yeah, let them see. Now, as as he's showing you, I want to listen carefully. The evil in this drug is that this drug is very dangerous. Now, the little thing you see there is about 3,000 or 5,000, those small things. Now, it's made like Indian hemp. It's a laboratory made synthetic drug. It's not natural. Now, this drug, you see, they soak it with bleach. They soak it with bleach. Now, this drug, apart from soaking it with bleach, they now use what is called formalin. Formalin is what the mortician use to embalm dead body. That is why when they take this drug, which you know I'm trying to say, not you. Are you following me? I said when they take this drug, because those who take it is not here. They are not here. And none of you want to go and start to do curiosity. Curiosity did not reach this level though. Curiosity not there for this one though. Now, when they take this drug, you normally say oncolos. You hear oncolos. That is the drug. You go and hug. Yes, a day after taking this drug, he went to go and hug transformer as a color. That is here. Because when you take it, there's what is called drugs operate in 4 levels. It's a depressant, it's a stimulant, hallucinogen. When you take it, you start hearing strange words. You start hearing strange words. There was a time I was drunk, I was high in the ship. When I was high, the voice told me I should look back. I was flying like that, I look back. He said I should look at that side, I look. He said I should look the ball, I look the ball. He said I should put my hand inside the ball. That is demon of suicide that God saved me. Not knowing that God was preparing me for a time like this. We have other drug they take now. We call it loud. I'm not talking about loud. Let me see loud. Have you seen it? We have talking about tomorrow. There are 3 types of loud. Canadian loud, Ghana loud, Scottish loud. Canadian loud. All these drugs they come. This is what and God delivered you from all this. Now, that is what is called loud. What is that one called? Loud. No. I'm not. All these drugs, they have street names. Please listen carefully. They have street names. This drug is called Reform. Now, this drug is street name is called. It used to be white and its colorless is colorless, but it's now something like blue. Come and show you. Now, when they mix this drug, they will use syringe to drag it and put in a drink for you. In the space of 10 minutes, you are born. In the space of what? That is why you don't drink anything or take anything anywhere. They give you have self-discipline, have self-control. Now, some years gave me that syllabus. You will not remember. Now, in law, it's not K2 or K3. Now, this, there's what is called, when boys want to run train on a girl, they want to run train. That revolution will only come few people. My brother who said it. Not everybody with one, not with one. And that's why you have to be careful. The God is everywhere. It is trying to destiny. If not be for the sake of Christ, this drug, when they take it, I of dopamine that this drug release is one that your dopamine level, all this loud, on the disease 50 to 1,300 units of dopamine at the same time. So you have to be very, very careful. This is called eyes. There is a book. There is a book called BIBLE. There is a book called I will not define myself. Let me tell you one thing. Our NGO is faith-based. I don't care. I'm talking about Jesus everywhere. I am proud to talk about Jesus everywhere. Anywhere. I'm never ashamed. Because I'm not going to. Where we are about 13 or in the room. 6 by 6. About 13 or 14 of us in the room of 6 by 6. So this drug, they will give out all the money in their pocket. All the money in their pocket. It's a called, the short name is called MDMA because it's a 38 class word. I don't know about it. Or see here is about 5,000 naira. So that the heroine and cocaine. Papa, you hear you dey laugh. You can very good. I think I'm using my right passport now. Because when God pick you from those people, you realize that. You know that when you just this, it was Oshage. Small was Cooper. I gotta call that one open your eyes. Am I you guys stop? Stop? This is purely made in Nigeria. You go to the lake. This got marijuana, ganja, black. When I take this in make me deep in a lie. This thing what is going to make my deep in a lie. It's a destroyer of life. That's what you're trying. Cocaine. they carry the heat here. That's why they say they want the high. Or you see, if you see anybody with this bunker, avoid him or her. Am I communicating?
Yes.
Then first of all, you are talking about this baku is a tobacco. It contains nicotine. Somebody come and do. Please, they are going to read out something for you. Read here. Read this one and read this one.
Smoking.
Listen to me. We have two types of drugs. Cigarettes and alcohol, they are gateway drugs. That's what you get. Gateway drug is drug that open you up to other drugs. I follow you. And this stick of cigarettes alone contains 70 substances that can cause cancer. So you see, they say they are doctors, so I'm a doctor. Go on, read this place, read this side, read this side. Listen carefully.
Smoking causes mouth cancer.
Have a roll of cigarettes, pack, I smoke. Pack, I smoke. And you know my cigarette that time? Rockmans. The best tobacco money can buy. We have money can buy, and I'm killing myself. 70 some. And to some of you who are already smoking, God let you. There is no, if I ask the brother to go and take one, bring it out. Who ate one? One and take the one and pour this. not drink richly. This is pure ethanol containing 42% alcohol. When I was growing up, I want to be a that was my cause. Right? But today, I am here to let you know that for 39 years on the street, I can tell you, like I have seen somebody use his NY. Serotonin, hormone of well-being, endorphin.
So if you don't like to believe it, please, that friend has become so and don't take it like you have to cut away from because we have observed over the years, business for 10 years. Attempt it at all.
Please let us go. This honorable man here. Your expression. Thank you. Question.
So, like what I'm saying, that this opportunity to be able to speak their mind and comment regarding like education. So, my question is, you said you should be giving opportunities. How can you be giving those opportunities? Like, be able to add things like when you don't know about the
Okay, thank you very much. Question number one. Yes, question number two is how do we go? Thank you.
that they do have their job. Some I think very well that said you will be wondering why these things will package. So like
Yeah,
She's asking the place of seeing leadership. That's that. So let's start with coming. And then we'll go to
know that we should run away from drugs, but what keeps your energy, strength, and energy and health? I think we also like to go in addition to what you have to
I saw some value here.
The rules are a little bit different. So I want to understand the
leadership is that because they are
how do instead try or how like this, they try to
Thank you very much. Over to you.
to take part in this. They are there because they want to, their energy is there, they want to exercise. Opportunity to make decisions. Because the resident of the country, what can that one come? You will be sitting on duty. The talents, they give you the IQ. Our own is but their own is still there. Why don't you use it? Why don't you create it? So we should.
In response to the questions, 1 minute. As we can find it on tape. So you have a mic there. So quickly, 1 minute, sir.
of African. To reflect in you as a student, begin to show the characteristics, the quality of good. Yes, there is second one, also very close to that one. The respect of followers that we are talking about leaders. What about the for it? Therefore,
last one, several questions here. So let's please have the
So he was to sell my beautiful young. I wake up, I see my, it's an assignment to lives. And so I wake up and then it's fun. 85. I see things about again. So I feel like that. The time is short. I didn't have enough time. Legal drug. When somebody substance abuse, You have to avoid your weird.
Everyone, round of applause. Just for the notes, I speak to them one by one. So let's first start with Mr. Joshua Falade, sir. Thank you very much.
Very much. It's a golden opportunity. Without joy. I need to let you know. I'm coming from the back. Where problem, you see opportunity. Whenever you see population, you see opportunity there. So how do you become employed? Number one, right from now, start to do some things with your life. You don't need to graduate before. To go to a very YouTube is there, it's a free university.
The friend of mine is just getting admission. I became happy because guess what happened? I was told them we should call the father and say, "I send your account to send my tithes to you." She asked for you to this day. They cost me. One is shots for other to the other is in an event center. And so they get on campus, they are almost every day, they get that's how they do it, and they are having money. That's what it says, sir. Thank you very much. So let's listen to his final note to the African youth. So short, say no to drug, yes to life. Say it with me. Say no to drug, yes to life. Say no to drug, yes to education. Say no to drug, yes to education.
That education because I'm
finally,
And please, a round of applause for them. The moderator of the program.
Amazing. We appreciate you. That was a fire-filled dialogue. If you fire, and I enjoyed myself. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. And I'm sure that you are taking notes. Am I correct? Our youth are taking notes, and our youth are taking charge. I'm going to create with desire. That's of today. As we build today, then tomorrow is definitely set. Now, guess what item 7 is all about? Just guess now. Break that they call item 7. You said what? Please. I want to do that we can make I know from please. Everyone. Rightly. So in market particular product. Of any university, you get 25,000 monthly stipend. You also get training on Excel and then photo shoot in our EcoBank IPAC. Where you can get free photo shoot. So for every customer. We also have for adults, we are also entitled to loan. We are also entitled to any program. It's something open for everyone, not just for students, not just everybody can benefit from EcoBank. Everybody. So it's just a platform that we.
Great Nigeria students. Great Nigeria students. My first grade, all my classes, they look like big names. lot of us, we have money that maybe uncles, aunties, gave to us.
Who is like you, Lord, in all the earth?
It's not everything given to you.
On the end of this one, yes, Lord,
What?
this one and satisfied. Jesus, you are that cup.
There's something
See everything. Ashes, love, and beauty, and nothing in this world can satisfy us. Now we can see everything. Only Jesus is our God. We can see His blessings. Nothing in this world can ever satisfy us. See everything. Jesus, everything turning around, everything turning around, everything turning around in this world. Now we can see everything. Nothing in this world. Jesus, that God, see everything. Nothing in this world can ever satisfy us. You are the God of awesome wonders. I've tasted of your holy shade. Jesus, you are that God that will run. You have shown us so much mercy. Your presence is so is heaven. Only say,
either your parents or your
you are the God of awesome heavens. We have tasted of your goodness and your mercy. His heaven is sound, His heaven is sound. You are so, so beautiful. His presence more than we deserve. His presence much more than we've expected. Your presence. Only say, His heaven. You have shown so much mercy. Much more than we deserve.